Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I really wanted to talk about Avatar due to the recent live action remake that has just come out. I really wanted to just talk about my relationship with the original series, and I also wanted to talk a little bit also about the live action and some of my thoughts about it. And also just again about my love and appreciation for the series. My relationship with Avatar, when I first watched it, it was a little bit late for me. I ended up watching it when I was in middle school, and I think that was actually like the perfect age to watch it because I was literally the exact same age as these characters. And I remember watching this show for the first time, and it really caught my attention because it was unlike any animated show, at least that I've ever seen before. I remember growing up before then, all the other shows that I watched, I feel like never had the same amount of character development in them that I was surrounding myself with compared to this one. I mean, I'm sure there were other ones out there, but it was the first time I really experienced it through animation. And that was something that was very important to me because I also grew up wanting to be an artist. And so seeing something like this being able to be made really affected me, I think, more than I realized. And I think this show definitely inspired my art style and also helped me keep going as an artist, but it also taught me a lot as a person too. So the original animation means a lot to me. And I've just been thinking about it a lot more. And I feel like it's a show that I've honestly really underappreciated. And it makes me feel sad because I feel like I should appreciate it more than I have in the past. And now also that the remake was made, it made me realize too just how much I appreciated, again, the characters and the animation especially. I mean, for when it came out, it's still like, I don't know, I guess it could be considered outdated today, I know, but I would have it no other way, to be honest, because it really, again, it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before at the time. So it really affected me. And again, also like the art style of the characters and the character design. I could go on and on about how much all that stuff has really influenced my art nowadays. And again, I feel like because so many things have influenced my art style and the way that I draw, I don't always realize it, but I do think Avatar is one of the main factors to it. And it just made me have more of an appreciation about it, I guess. And not even to mention, like, the world building in the show is crazy to me. Like, it blows my mind how well done the world building is. And just the pacing of it, too. I always love shows that start out being a lot more happy and innocent and fun, and then over time, they do get more serious, which I do think the show continuously is fun. But I mean, it definitely does. Like, once you get to season 3, it gets, like, depressing. But it's so freaking good. And again, the character development itself is just so I mean, Zuko literally has the best redemption arc I think I've ever seen. The way that it's all laid out and done is just so beautiful, and I could go on about it forever. But again, just all this talk about the live action, I don't really want to talk about it too much, to be honest, because I don't want this to become super negative, which I feel like I might end up becoming anyway, because I've already seen so much negative stuff online about it, and I don't really want to be super negative about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even seen the live action. I watched the first episode, and then I stopped because I realized I feel like I was kind of forcing myself to watch it because everyone was watching it at the time. But halfway through, I realized I was like, I don't need to watch this. I could just watch the original, and I just don't really have, I don't know, a desire to watch it. I'm just kind of frustrated, I guess, with the reasons behind why they made this in the first place. And I feel like there's a lot of other people that feel this way too, that I'm just so tired of remakes right now. I'm so tired of live action remakes, especially the ones that are based off of things that are animated and stuff, because I feel like we already are not getting enough animated things being made, and it's really frustrating to me. especially with things like Disney, because every single thing they're making now is just remakes. And the animated stuff that's coming out recently, at least, has not really been stuff of value. And I feel like there's still this really weird stigma around animation too, that things that are animated are just cartoons and only kids. That's like still a huge, like, I feel like that's still a really big weird misconception with animation, that animated stuff is only for kids. But it doesn't make sense to me, because some of the animated stuff that has been coming out recently that's genuinely good gets such good reception. Like the Spider-Verse movies, for examples, those movies are freaking some of the most beautiful animated movies I've ever seen, and they get such good reception. Same with things like the Arcane series that came out. The animation is freaking gorgeous, and it's really well known, and everyone freaking loved it. So I don't understand why there's such a lack of animation being happening, and I don't understand why we have to remake things that are so beautifully animated already. Again, the original Avatar series is gorgeous, and I think one of my biggest problems with the more recent remake was everything is just CGI, and it really takes out the heart of it, sadly. And I know that, like, obviously they can't help that because you have to CGI like what you're doing, but at that point I'm like, why does it need to be? That's the beauty of animation. There's no limits. This was also a problem I had with the recent Percy Jackson remake. I have been thinking for years, because I read those books originally, I've been thinking for years how much I would have loved if they made that animated. Like, just think about it for a second. Can you imagine if that was I feel like that could have been amazing if they did an animated Percy Jackson series. Like, you have no limits that way, because you can just animate it. I'm sorry. This is me getting negative, and I don't want to be negative about stuff like this, but I just get so frustrated about it, and I just want to see more animation too. And I feel like there's so many animators out there that have potential to tell amazing stories, but they just aren't getting the outlets they deserve, and they're not getting to tell their stories that they should be, because there's so many amazing creators and animators out there, but they just don't have the money, or they're not getting the attention that they deserve. And it really frustrates me, and it makes me really sad, because animation is something that should continue to be celebrated. And I feel like the remakes are just kind of backpedaling all this hard work people put into these movies, and it makes me sad. Again, I'm gonna stop talking about this now, because I feel like people might get mad at me. Again, these are just opinions. I understand that obviously people will have differing opinions, and if you like the live action stuff, I'm really happy, and I'm glad that you are, because I wish I could like them as much as I wish I could, but I have a hard time. Again, I'm really sorry for this ramble. Speaking though of the art itself here, I had actually so much fun making this. I don't know if there are any other artists on here that are watching, which I'm sure there are. It's very difficult to draw people in a group setting interacting with each other, and I was reminded of that during this one. It's very hard to do that. But it was really good practice for me, I think. And this was actually, originally this was gonna be a redraw piece actually, but I ended up deciding that I kind of wanted to do my own thing, because the original one I was using the referencing off of, the poses weren't dynamic, and they were kind of just like awkwardly sitting there, and I didn't really like it. I do think this one could have been more dynamic, to be honest. But I think I'm happy with it though. This was really fun exercise for me, because I really had to practice drawing these characters in my style. And I think one of the biggest differences for me with this one was the hair, actually, which is really specific, but because in the original show, the hair is a lot more like, I guess, spiky, I would say, like Zuko's. I guess, I don't know, it's not actually that like spiky, but I ended up I did some changes there, and I made it a little bit softer, and I did like this interesting flaring technique with the marker to help me smooth it out more. And then another big decision I decided to make too, because I'm using Ohuhu markers, by the way, that's what the markers I'm using. I decided that a lot of the time whenever I'm doing marker illustrations, I tend to outline using colored pencil usually, because I just like how soft it looks. It makes, I don't know, it changes the dynamic usually of a drawing. But on this one, I decided to do a black and white pen outline because I don't know, I wanted it to look a little bit more comic booky, I guess. That's not a word. It's fine. I decided to go that route because I like the thicker lines sometimes, and it's fun to try to do that. So I'm happy with that. I do think actually out of all these characters, I think my favorites are definitely Toph and Zuko. I really like how their faces turned out and their hair too. And I think I just had the most fun drawing those two out of all of them. I did have fun though drawing these characters again, and it makes me realize I really haven't done much Avatar fan art, which I can't believe I haven't because I've known it for so long. And again, it's just I feel like I've really underappreciated this series. I really want to do another full rewatch of it again. Also because it really is so good and I love it. By the way, does anyone have what's everyone's favorite Zuko hair? I feel like everyone always says the one I'm doing right now, like the longer one. But I'm not gonna lie, I also love the buzzed haircut. But the ones, not the super well actually the super short one looks good too. But my favorite is the one, I think it's in the episode Tales of Ba Sing Se. I'll put a picture up. I really like that hairstyle. It looks really cute. I really like that hairstyle. It's another one of my favorites. Also, another question. What is everyone's favorite episode of this show, too? I'd really like to know. And your favorite character? And your favorite season? For me, my favorite season is definitely season 3, I think. I remember just loving that season and the way everything plays out. Also, I'm not sure if this is a hot take or not, but in my opinion, the best battle scene by far is the one between Azuka. I just said Azuka. I meant Zuko and Azula. I just put their names together. Zuko and Azula though. That one's that. Oh my! The animation. The animators really were we're going out with a bang on this one because oh my gosh, it's freaking stunning. The music. It's so also just Azula is such an amazing character, and the music too. It's it's so heartbreaking to watch. And that's what affects me so much about it too. And whenever she has her breakdown at the end, it's one of my favorite scenes in the entire show. It's hard to watch, and it really makes you rethink the character in a way that I hadn't. It made me at least rethink the character in a way I hadn't before, and it really affects me still. And I think about that scene a lot. And I think it's actually even better than the fight scene with Aang and Sozin. Even though it's an amazing fight scene, don't get me wrong, the animation's crazy and it's insane, but that one just has so much more weight to it, I think, and it's a lot more, it's just really devastating seeing especially because I have a very I'm very close with my siblings, so seeing that really affected me, I'm not gonna lie. Something I am excited for, I'm trying to be positive, something I am excited for is the freaking, I think it's gonna be a movie, I believe, for these characters when they get older. I am so freaking excited for that. I'm so ready for that. I hope it ends up being good. I have faith in it. I do. I'm very excited for that. I wanted to see these characters grown up and seeing how they interact with each other and how the dynamics are and the relationships are when they get older so bad, and I'm so excited for that. So that is something I'm very much looking forward to. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble on again. Again, I would love to hear other people's opinions in the comments. Again, these are just my opinions. I don't mean anything harsh or anything, and I would love to hear what other people have to say. I thank you everyone so much for watching this. If you're still watching, thank you so much. And I hope that everyone has an amazing day. And if you have not seen Avatar yet, please go watch it. It's amazing and perfect, and I would highly recommend it. At least the animated show. I haven't seen all the live action, but I would watch the animated one. And again, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.